Welcome to Dividend and Conquer, the channel where we delve into the world of dividends and slice through the complexity to empower your investment journey. Today, we're zeroing in on a topic that's hot on every investor's list: finding the paramount dividend ETF to buy and, more importantly, to hold indefinitely. Sit tight as we're about to embark on a voyage through the diverse sea of dividend ETFs to fish out the ultimate keeper. Let's kick off by dissecting what exactly makes a dividend ETF a steadfast member of your investment portfolio. Now imagine a treasure trove of financial instruments, each with a history rich in returns and stability. We're not just looking at snapshots, a year here, 5 years there. We're talking a legacy of a decade or more, demonstrating resilience and consistent performance. In the running are a myriad of contenders, each with its own merits, but not all are cut from the same cloth. To find our Forever Hold ETF, we have to be ruthless in our selection. Those without a decade of proven track record, they're the first to walk the plank. Newcomers like DGRO, SPYD, DGRW, and NOBL may have potential, but our sights are set on the time-tested stalwarts. Moving on, let's narrow down our search further by waving goodbye to underperformers. We're seeking a balanced blend of income and growth, and those that haven't kept up over the last 10 years are stepping aside. This whittles down our list even more, ensuring we're only dealing with the best of the best. Now pause for a moment and ask yourself, what kind of investor are you?
Please do this for us.
No.
Do you cherish income now, or are you the kind to forego immediate gains for the promise of future growth? Your answer shapes our quest because the perfect dividend ETF for you might differ from that of your fellow investor. As we sail past the halfway mark of our journey, if you're finding value in this expedition through the high seas of dividends, consider joining the Dividend and Conquer crew by hitting that subscribe button. Let's navigate these waters together and conquer the investment world, one dividend at a time. Diversification is our compass in these waters. A dividend ETF with only a handful of holdings? That's like a ship with too few sails. It might not catch enough wind to reach our destination. We need a vessel with a broad array of sails, one that can harness the power of a diverse portfolio. ETFs like SPHD and PEY with their limited holdings will have to walk the plank too. Next, the growth rate of the dividend itself is our North Star. Stagnation is not an option. We want our dividends to grow, to be more than just a fixed beacon in the night. We're looking for ETFs that promise an ever-brightening future, those that consistently raise their dividends year over year. Let's delve into the concept of dividend growth and its paramount importance for long-term investors. Dividend growth is an indicator of a company's, and by extension an ETF's, financial health and management's confidence in future earnings. An ETF that includes companies with rising dividends is often packed with resilient businesses that can endure economic downturns and still come out on top. Consider the dividend aristocrats, companies that have not just paid but also increased their dividends for at least 25 consecutive years. An ETF that mirrors this index, such as the ProShares S&P 500 Dividend Aristocrats ETF, NOBL, is typically seen as a bastion of dividend growth, despite its younger market presence relative to some of its competitors. When we pinpoint our focus onto dividend growth, we also need to factor in the yield. The yield is the annual dividend payment divided by the ETF's share price. It's tempting to chase after the ETFs with the highest yield, but that's a siren's call that can lead to choppy waters. A high yield can sometimes signal a company in distress, one that might cut dividends in the future. Instead, the right balance between a reasonable yield and consistent dividend growth provides a sturdy vessel for our investment journey. Now let's hoist the mainstay and talk about total return. Remember, dividends are just one component. Total return includes capital appreciation, which is the increase in price of the ETF's shares over time. When you reinvest dividends, you're compounding your investment, and this is where the magic happens. Compounding can turn even the smallest dividend stream into a raging river of returns over the long term. It's also essential to keep a weather eye on the expense ratio. This is the percentage of your investment that goes towards the administrative and operational costs of the ETF. Over the long voyage of investing, a high expense ratio can eat significantly into your returns. We prefer ETFs with low expense ratios, which means more of our investment is working for us, not for the fund manager. Let's also consider the tax efficiency of ETFs. Dividend income can be taxed at different rates depending on whether it's classified as qualified or non-qualified. ETFs that generate qualified dividends can offer better after-tax returns, which is an important consideration for investors, especially those in higher tax brackets. Now, to help in navigating through these considerations, we've got our spyglass fixed on a few standout ETFs. One such candidate for your treasure chest is the Vanguard Dividend Appreciation ETF, VIG. It focuses on companies that have a record of growing their dividends year over year. This ETF is like the steady captain of a ship, reliable and consistent. It's a favorite for investors looking for a blend of income and capital appreciation. Another formidable contender in our quest is the iShares Select Dividend ETF, DVY. This ETF takes a different tack by offering a higher dividend yield. It sails through the waters of high dividend-paying companies in the United States, providing a hearty income stream for investors who might be closer to or in retirement, and thus more income-reliant. And what of international waters? Diversifying beyond the shores of your home country can expose you to dividends from the seven seas. The Spider S&P Global Dividend ETF, WDIV, could be your passport to the world's high dividend-paying stocks. Remember, international waters can be more turbulent due to currency fluctuations and different economic cycles, but they can also offer a bountiful catch of opportunities. Now let's not overlook the role of sector allocation in our dividend ETFs. Different sectors can be more generous with their dividends than others. Utilities, consumer goods, and real estate investment trusts, REITs, are typically heavy dividend payers. Meanwhile, tech or healthcare might offer lower yields, but greater potential for capital appreciation. An ETF that can balance these sectors, like the Fidelity Dividend ETF for rising rates, FDRR, might be more resilient in various economic weathers, protecting your investment from sector-specific squalls. As we round the cape of this conversation, it's vital to acknowledge that the ETF we crown as king today might not hold the throne forever. The markets are as changeable as the sea. That's why our strategy must include a disciplined approach to reviewing our holdings. We must be willing to adjust our sails as the economic winds change direction. Regular portfolio reviews ensure that we stay on course, continuing to meet our investment goals and risk tolerance. The ETFs we've discussed today are but a few stars in the vast investment sky. Each investor must chart their own course using their goals, time horizon, and risk tolerance as coordinates. Whether your journey is just beginning or you're a seasoned voyager of the markets, the right dividend ETF can be a worthy first mate on your voyage towards financial freedom and a lasting legacy. Now let's weigh anchor and delve into the historical performance of our finalists. While history is not a crystal ball, it provides a charted course, showing us how these ETFs have weathered past financial storms. We're looking for those that have not only survived but thrived, delivering a balance of income and growth that could make them worthy of a permanent berth in your portfolio. Considering all factors, yield, holdings, dividend growth, and historical performance, let's weigh these titans against each other. Who will emerge as the behemoth of the dividend ETF world? Fast forward to our current times, and it's crucial to acknowledge the ebbs and flows of the market. Recent performances, while insightful, are merely ripples in the grand ocean of investing. The true measure of our ETFs will be their long-term ability to ride the waves and deliver returns. Before we hoist our sails towards the outro, let me pose a question to our savvy viewers. Which dividend ETF have you found to be a steadfast ally in your investment journey? Chart your experiences in the comments below, and let's learn from each other's voyages. In conclusion, our quest for the ultimate buy and hold forever dividend ETF might lead us to multiple destinations. There's no single treasure map to riches, but rather a constellation of stars guiding us to our personal investment heavens. Whether it's the venerable SEHD with its focus on quality and sustainability, or the behemoth VYM with its extensive holdings and proven track record, your perfect match is out there. Remember, we are not financial advisors, and the content presented in this video is for informational and educational purposes only. Always consult with a licensed financial professional before making any investment decisions. Thank you for joining me on this investment odyssey. Until next time, keep your dividends growing and your portfolios prosperous. And remember, in the world of dividend and conquer, We're not just building wealth, we're crafting a legacy.